BTS Jin wins Best Solo Artist at Kstyle Awards. Sets new record. The world of K-pop is often defined by its rapid pace and shifting trends, but one name continues to stand as a pillar of consistency and global dominance: Jin of BTS. In a resounding validation of his individual artistry, Jin has once again cemented his status as a premier solo act by securing the top spot at the prestigious K-pop Awards, hosted by Japan's largest Hallyu media outlet, Kstyle. This victory is particularly significant as the Kstyle Awards, co-hosted with Idol Champ, are determined entirely by fan participation, reflecting the genuine, organic support of the public rather than a panel of judges. Competing against a field of prominent artists who define the musical landscape of 2025, Jin captured the Best Solo Artist title with a commanding 29.36% of the total vote. This accolade recognizes stars who delivered exceptional performances throughout the year, and Kstyle's official social media channels celebrated the win on January 30th, announcing that a specially crafted, original trophy would be delivered to the singer. However, Jin's influence in 2025 was not confined to Japan. His success rippled across the globe, marking a year of triumphs that spanned continents. In Korea, he made his presence felt at the 40th Golden Disc Awards, taking home the Men's Popularity Award. Meanwhile, across the ocean in Mexico, the leading online pop station House Radio selected him as the 2025 K-pop artist for the second consecutive year, with his track, Don't Say You Love Me, being honored in the K-pop song category. The momentum continued into South America, where the title track of his second mini-album, Echo, achieved International Hit of the Year at the Breaktudo Awards in Brazil. Furthermore, Billboard Brazil named it the best K-pop male solo song of 2025. This global sweep was capped off by his dominance at the 2025 Asian Pop Music Awards, APMA, where he won both Record of the Year and Top 20 Songs of the Year. As we move further into 2026, these achievements serve as undeniable proof that Jin has established a solid, immovable position as a solo artist, transcending his role in the group to shine on his own merit. To fully understand the weight of these trophies and the millions of votes cast in his name, one must look beyond the statistics and the headlines. One must look past the worldwide handsome persona and the stadium lights to find the story of a young man who was never supposed to be here in the first place. The journey of Kim Seokjin is not a typical tale of a prodigy born for the stage. It is a profound narrative of a man who built his wings while falling, fueled by a quiet, desperate resilience that few truly see. Long before the awards in Japan or the charts in Brazil, Jin was simply a university student in Seoul. He was not training to be a pop star. He was studying acting at Konkuk University, dreaming of a life in theater or film. His entry into the world of K-pop is now the stuff of legend, often retold with a smile. He was scouted on the street while stepping off a bus, chosen purely for his striking, undeniable visuals. But what is often left out of that story is the terrifying reality that followed. He was recruited for his face, but he was thrown into a pit of immense talent where a pretty face was not enough to survive. When Jin entered the training system, he was starting from zero. Unlike his bandmates, some of whom were underground rappers, street dancers, or vocal prodigies, Jin had no background in music or dance. Industry sources and early documentary footage reveal the brutal contrast of those early days. He was surrounded by teenagers who moved with instinctive rhythm, while he had to learn how to count beats. He was surrounded by unique voices, while he had to learn how to breathe properly. There is a specific haunting kind of loneliness in being the imposter in a room full of geniuses. As the eldest member, the math young, cultural expectations dictated that he should be the leader, the most capable, the one the others looked up to. Yet, in the practice room, he was often the one lagging behind, the one receiving the harshest corrections, the one who had to stay late into the night just to master a sequence that the others picked up in minutes. The psychological toll of this dynamic was immense. For years, Jin battled a silent fear that he was holding the team back. In his solo track Awake, released years into their career, he finally gave voice to this internal struggle. He sang about how he might not be able to fly like the flower petals, a metaphor for his talented members, but that he would continue to run, continue to struggle, just to stay by their side. It was a heartbreaking admission of insecurity from a man the world saw as confident. He essentially confessed that he felt ordinary in a group of extraordinary people, and that his only choice was to work harder than anyone else to bridge that gap. This struggle was compounded by the burden of his role as the eldest brother. During the group's impoverished rookie days, when the future was uncertain and money was scarce, Jin took it upon himself to care for the younger members. According to various media sources and the members' own recollections, Jin used his own allowance and support from his family to buy ingredients and cook meals for the group, ensuring they didn't go hungry. He drove the youngest member, Jungkook, to school, acting as a guardian in a chaotic city. He absorbed the stress of their uncertainty. When the group faced ridicule, rejection, or the looming threat of disbandment, Jin became the emotional buffer. He adopted a persona of humor, using dad jokes and exaggerated confidence to lighten the mood. He laughed so that the younger members wouldn't have to cry. He made himself look silly so that the tension in the room would break. But behind those jokes was a man who was often awake at night, wondering if his best was good enough, wondering if he truly belonged on that stage. There were moments of profound doubt. Industry insiders have hinted that there were times Jin considered if this path was truly for him, given the immense physical and mental strain. The criticism from the public in the early years regarding his dancing or his vocals stung deeply. Yet he never lashed out. He never gave up. Instead, he quietly went to work. He took extra vocal lessons. He practiced dance until his body gave out. He turned his weakness into a unique strength, developing the silver voice, a stable, emotional, and powerful vocal tone that became the backbone of BTS's ballads. The transition from the insecure trainee to the best solo artist of 2025 is a testament to the power of upbringing, in the sense of raising oneself. Jin raised himself to meet the expectations of the world. He dismantled his own ego and rebuilt it with hard work. The awards he wins now, whether in Japan, Mexico, or Brazil, are not just for a catchy song or a handsome face. They are votes of respect. Fans vote for Jin because they have witnessed his sacrifice. They saw the boy who struggled to keep up transform into the man who commands the stage with an effortless grace. They saw the eldest brother who cooked for his team become a global superstar who still treats everyone with humble kindness. His journey resonates because it is the story of the underdog who refused to accept his limitations. When he stands on the podium to accept these awards, holding a trophy that represents 100% fan voting, it is a validation of every silent tear he shed in the practice room. It is an answer to the question he asked himself in the dark. Am I enough? The world has answered with a resounding yes. As we look at Jin in 2026, we do not just see a K-pop idol. We see a man who taught us that you don't have to be born a genius to become a legend. You don't have to be the fastest to win the race. You just have to keep walking, even when it hurts, even when you are afraid. His landing on the global stage is soft, but it is firm, rooted in a decade of patience, love, and an unwavering commitment to his members and his fans. The trophy from Kstyle, the recognition from Billboard, the applause from millions. These are merely the echoes of a voice that once trembled but now sings with the strength of a mountain. Kim Seokjin's success is a reminder that the most beautiful flowers often bloom from the hardest soil, and that sometimes, the one who struggles the most to fly ends up soaring the highest. This is why the world doesn't just love Jin, they respect him. Deeply. And forever.